Let's define our own function which shows information about a university. We want to print out the lines of text such as university name, when it was founded, and where is the main campus. We will group these together in a function so that we can easily repeat it. And here's the print code for university data we want to repeat. Now let's actually write out the function definition for printing this. We'll write the words public, void, and then the name of our function. The name of the function can be anything, and we'll call this one university detail with empty parentheses. And finally, we'll surround the code we want to execute like these 3 lines in curly braces, and this completes our function definition. The start of this function may seem a bit confusing at first. So let's go through what we have wrote piece by piece. The first thing we wrote was public. Java functions always start out with a word like public, private, or protected, and these are called access modifier. The public access modifier tells Java that anyone can access this function. We'll hear more about this access modifier when we'll talk about objects. For now, just know that it's included at the start of the function. The next thing we wrote was the word void, and this is something called a return type. And void just simply means that this function is not returning anything. Some functions can perform calculations like adding 2 numbers together, and then we want the function to return some data to us so that we can print it back. In those cases, we will change void to the data type that we have learned previously. But for functions that are simply performing actions like printing text, we aren't forming a new result, and we don't expect this function to return anything. So don't worry about this too much for now. After void, we just have the name of our function, university detail, followed by empty parentheses, which is how we can refer to and call our functions. And finally, we have the block of code that our function contains. It contains the printed university information in its curly braces. This is similar to how our if statement contains code inside braces. Now every time this function university detail is called, the block of code will be executed. And these are all the components of a function definition. Our next step after defining this function will be to use it by calling the function, which we'll look at next.